What's up?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just filming the neighborhood, you know.
You're filming my house, so is there a reason for that?
Just, you know, filming the neighborhood.
Filming the neighborhood, okay.
I'm good, yeah.
Listen, well, you're filming private property. If it's okay with you, I would like for you to leave right now, okay?
Well, you know, I think I'm good. I'm on public property, so I can film wherever I want.
Well, listen, I don't really care, all right? You're filming my home. I don't want you to be filming my home right now.
Well, it really doesn't matter what you want.
You have permission to be doing this, okay?
I do. I have a First Amendment right to do this.
First Amendment right,
yeah.
Okay. What's going on here? Is this some YouTube shit going on?
This is freedom of the press, so I'm acting
okay,
as the press.
Listen, I'm gonna call cops. All right. So
you can do that, but just know I'm on the street, so it's legal.
Oh, it's legal. Okay, tell you what. How about if you don't leave, I'm gonna beat your ass. So
well, okay. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me, or I'll spray you.
Okay, you're gonna spray me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna spray you if you keep trying to
talk right now. Okay.
Get the fuck back. Oh shit! I brought the wrong spray.
Yeah.
Oh! According to Wikipedia, First Amendment audits are a largely American social movement that involves photographing or filming from a public space. It is often categorized by its practitioners, known as auditors, as activism and citizen journalism that tests constitutional rights, in particular the right to photograph and video record in a public space, a right normally covered by the First Amendment. In a time where anyone can film anything at all hours of the day, you're bound to have some really creative ideas and god-awful slop. People will film get ready with me content, day in the life content.
Oh, day in the life.
On a more personal level, people will FaceTime their loved ones or take a photo of a cool building they see. Then you'll reach a side of public filming that I like to call the ghoul zone. This space in the content creation atmosphere will hold the Riz accounts, the street interviewers, or the public experimenters or public pranksters, and the worst offenders of them all, First Amendment auditors.
What's it for?
I'm just making a video about the lack of education in this country.
Oh, I need your name and position.
And I believe we provided those too.
F***ing simple, okay?
So I just can't ask you what your name and badge number is?
You can call in and ask.
All right, go f yourself then, all right? Take it easy. Don't tell me what to do. Go f yourself.
Learn your place, because you just got checked. And I can tell you to fuck off.
Hello?
What's up?
Do about it. You gonna stop me?
You mother...
If you're not familiar with these goofballs, they basically go to a public space in a town, hunker down on a sidewalk or like a city street, film the facade of a business or a government building, and film the people that go inside said business or building. You could probably guess what kind of antics ensue.
We're not going to play this game. It's public record. First of all, okay, you're a public servant and you work for the people, so you give me your name when requested. I'm a private citizen. I don't have to give you my information. I'm talking.
I don't need your consent.
I don't agree with you filming me.
It doesn't matter. It's not my fault you guys can't pay attention and do your job.
So you pull all the way back up over here, you roll down your window, you say you're just curious, you want to keep having a conversation, but you don't want to be on film?
I would prefer not to be.
Looks like that wasn't a very smart choice.
No, I don't want to misconstrue or spread any kind of false information about First Amendment auditors. I will try to present the information as best as I can and show what they advocate for, or what they say they advocate for, but also know that I am not 100% objective person. This is a YouTube channel, and I'm going to say that a lot of them are full of shit and just do this for clicks and money, really. But let's get into it. I've arranged a sort of criteria, like an informal criteria of what their goals are. Wikipedia and other sites have their own rundowns. A lot of the movement seems to be self-proclaimed. They're the ones that made up the term First Amendment auditors. Just kind of seems like they're hardcore LARPing their constitutional freedoms like sovereign citizens. And I'll put that description down below if you don't know what a sovereign citizen person is, because those guys are also Looney Tunes. So the criteria includes filming or photographing a place of business or public building like a library, police station, or a post office, staying on a public sidewalk or easement because once they set foot on private property, they're subject to being detained or arrested for trespassing unless it's a public building, hurls insults at bystanders who say they don't want to be filmed,
This guy's just a piece of trash.
pepper sprays people if they feel a little bit threatened, and God, being complete and utter douchebags.
Don't tell me what to do. Go back inside, go back to work.
What to do. I'm just going to ask you not to film through the window.
Oh, it's happening.
Now, what are their goals exactly? Well, in their terms, it's activism. They want to test our constitutional freedoms as United States citizens and want to provide a sort of on-the-ground reporting like their independent news outlets. There is no real news being reported, but they just like to say that there's some kind of press, you know. On its face, this seems like a very admirable thing to do, you know, a very honorable goal to just spend your free time filming to make sure that law enforcement is doing its duty correctly and not, you know, being corrupt like most cop institutions are.
We're going to insist on identifying you, and you don't have a choice.
And that's why you're being contacted, and we want your identification. So we want it right now, Nate.
I don't want to provide that. Okay. Sir, I want to contact my lawyer. Okay.
Let's face it, the reality is, it seems like these guys get a thrill out of agitating people.
So I didn't breach any security, you fucking dumbass.
And putting it on YouTube for monetary gain. We're gonna watch some clips about these First Amendment auditors and just kind of get a feel for the antics. I don't want to get it twisted. I am no fan of cops. I'm not a fan of our established crony capitalistic hellscape, but a lot of what these auditors do seems more mean-spirited, almost to the point of it being like cruel and at its core combative. Just look at this clip real quick.
So it's okay.
Why the fuck are you panning down my dress, you fucking freak?
I'm being nice. I'm being polite. I'm just asking you to not film this.
It's very awkward. It's very uncomfortable. Stop filming. You're not in class. We don't want that.
We're not okay with filming us. Can you talk, please? I'm neither proud nor tired.
This is the channel Human Wildlife Project. I want to take a quick look at the channel bio. I document, you watch. Public non-consensual and psychological observation rocks. Why the mask? Facial expressions convey signals, and I have a poor poker face. I'm also not super interested in petty retaliation from a perceived wrong. I love how he says public non-consensual observation rocks. Like, yeah, dude, your lack of consent is the paramount issue here. I am not an auditor. And I don't care to be. Maybe in spirit, at most, but these videos exist solely for me. Luckily for you, I make them public. This is strictly an observation channel of human behavior. If you want entertainment and sensationalized content, go elsewhere. He says he's not an auditor, and sure, by label, he's not, but I'm still gonna lump him in with all these other auditors because a lot of his behavior mirrors what they do, and they also utilize these observation tactics in a very similar, dehumanizing way. If you want entertainment and sensationalized content, go elsewhere. Nothing says I don't sensationalize my content like the titles that you see in these videos. Like, you're not filming people in an agitated state and then uploading it on YouTube for views. You're not asking for people to use this hashtag to get your dying TikTok trending again. No, you're not doing any of that. You're not sensationalizing. You're not trying to create entertainment. We're just taking your word at face value. Because you're such a stand-up guy, right? It's the Human Wildlife Project. He records people just like a wildlife photographer, just stands and observes how people act without interacting with them. It's a project on the Hawthorne effect, which is a thesis that people modify their behavior when they know they are being recorded. Completely legal, by the way. I'm seeing a lot of people regurgitate this same exact comment, and sometimes it feels like these people are bots. I don't know if they're just such rabid fans of this guy that they just like to regurgitate this thing, but I'm thinking it's probably the former. The fact that this channel and the people who are his fans portray human beings as animals in the wild is dehumanizing. It's awful, and it's attributing to the degradation of social decency. You're not Steve Irwin. You're not his son Robert Irwin. You're not observing creatures and their habitats. You're a hack. You'll see these auditors talk about the Hawthorne effect pretty often. They kind of use it as an official stamp of approval, like this is a very legitimate thing that they're doing. It's backed by science, when it's not really. They're kind of misusing the study. Also, side note, the transphobia in the comments is really disheartening and pretty gross. We gotta do better as people. Like, look at these comments. They're using AI to like bully trans people. This specific person who never identified if they were trans or not. I don't know. I don't think they did. But yeah, it's just really gross. Now, the real Hawthorne effect originated with the company Western Electric Hawthorne Works. It was a series of experiments conducted between the years 1924 and 1932. The comments are correct with their definition of the goal, but they're not correct in its implementation. It did observe modified behavior of people being watched by others, but it was a mutual exchange between test subjects and the scientists involved. The goal was to produce a positive outcome of productivity in the workplace. The subjects know they're being observed, therefore they feel an elevated sense of self and receive special treatment, which in turn makes them work more efficiently. These auditors have hijacked the term, replacing it with the stress test, sometimes masking it as the Hawthorne effect to film people and observe them in public when there's really no mutual benefit, just their own. This clip kind of displays an argument that contradicts some of my previous points considering First Amendment auditors, and that argument is people who tend to assault them for filming them in public, which I don't condone. I don't condone assault of any kind, except if it's a Nazi in a video game. Auditors are exposed to physical violence, assault, battery, even attempted murder. If you apply like physical force on somebody else, whether it's throwing water on them, damaging their property or their camera, or punching them, that is so wrong, unethical. Don't do that. It's really that simple. Walk away. It's unfortunate that that even has to be said, but many people do go up to these auditors and try to shove their camera away because they're agitated with them. As much as it's tempting, you shouldn't do it because there are real repercussions and it's just wrong. It's not an easy thing to be an auditor. You have to be subject to people berating you. It's really opened my eyes to see people behave in this sort of manner when they're being filmed. It shows that a lot of people also just don't know their rights, their general rights. So I do see some value in that. But it's not necessarily the people's fault that they don't know what their rights are. The government isn't, clamoring to tell us what we can or cannot do. They leave us in the dark intentionally. I would heavily argue that the First Amendment auditors aren't completely innocent in their actions. I mean, they're essentially, I'm not touching you personified. The pepper spraying, for instance, is a very controversial aspect of First Amendment auditing.
You're welcome to do whatever you're doing, just don't block the doorway. Don't block my doorway.
Don't touch my shit.
Don't
touch my shit, bro.
Don't.
You don't want to touch my shit.
You don't want to step in front of my doorway.
Don't touch my shit.
You're in my house. Like, this is my house, dude.
I don't care if I'm You're touching. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Was the appropriate reaction to someone grabbing your camera really to pepper spray them? I don't know. Did he threaten you with a gun? Like, yeah, he physically assaulted you, which again is wrong. You could have just, I don't know, had a better reaction time. You could have taken a few steps back. You could have warned the guy before you sprayed him. Or you could have just been anywhere else on the planet. Maybe preferably in your house or in a cave, anywhere else besides messing with people.
Hey, put your gun down, dude. Put it down. There's no reason to have your firearms out. We're on a public sidewalk. We have a right to open carry. There's no threat.
So this is the guy with the panic alarm. Got a good shot of him already. That's a good thumbnail.
Is that Acura Amanda that working in Victoria's Secrets?
Just filming Victoria's Secret?
Yeah. I got a thing for like women's lingerie and stuff. So.
No, I can't. Take it easy, Cupcake. Have a good one.
Strange person coming in.
Okay. I could call you the same thing. I mean, why are you wearing a mask?
I'm immune compromised. That's why I'm
immune compromised.
Yes.
Oh, you're one of those.
Right here, on my property. I'm standing right here. I'm gonna keep walking. On my property.
Look, all right.
On my property.
Back up away from me.
On my property.
Sounds good?
On my property.
Sound good?
Oh, now you're pulling a weapon out? Now I'm calling the police.
These audits, all of these videos are predicated on the fact that a reaction is necessary, that a reaction is needed for the clicks, for the views, for the attention.
A fail is what, that's what gets you the high numbers. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I do get a big freak out, Not that I solicit that, but you know, when somebody does come out and yell and holler and stuff, yeah, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be, you know, a banger.
Without the reaction, these videos are dead in the water. There really isn't anything of value in this video without crazy guy grabs my camera, pepper spray, see the reaction. If people just didn't react, went about their days, all of these auditors, they wouldn't have a platform. They want you to react. They want you to get pissed off. My issue isn't with freedom of speech or constitutional freedoms. My issue is how they utilize those freedoms. The goal is to be antagonistic to people. A lack of decency when asked to stop filming. A lack of care for people's feelings because your rights trump everyone else's feelings. Therefore, you can act however you want. Yes, your rights are important. Yes, you can technically do whatever you want within the legal bindings of the law, but in a case like this,
you're still gonna come up and ask me to stop doing what I'm doing out of comfortability. You're gonna choose people's feelings over people's rights.
An employee of this weed dispensary calmly just asked him to stop filming. And instead of negotiating and being a decent person, he just belittles him. Because why be decent? Why compromise with anybody? You know, when you can just be an asshole and make money for your shitty content.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just making the request. Obviously, I can't enforce it like that. This is just more of like a man-to-man thing, like, you know.
So is it like you're requesting me personally, or did somebody tell you to come out and do that?
I'm not trying to infringe on your rights. I'm not trying to.
You are.
I mean, it's no more than like if I drop something on the ground and say, hey, can you pick that up for me or something like that. I mean, it's not really.
First Amendment auditor defends himself with pepper spray. Crazy.
This guy understood exactly what I was doing from the dispensary, and yet he still came out to tell me to politely give up my rights and just, you know, walk away and stop doing what I'm doing, even though he knew exactly what was going on.
That's not what happened, pal. He didn't ask you to relinquish your freedom. Just because you uphold one aspect of the Constitution and someone asks you to just film somewhere else doesn't mean that that person's stripping away your freedoms. When they part ways, that guy's freedoms and his rights will still be intact. You're not separate from human decency or compassion or empathy. You're not a sociopath. Some people are, and maybe some of these guys who do this are actually sociopaths and they just don't care, but you're not fucking Judge Dredd. You're not doling out the law, you know? There's that one philosophical concept known as the social contract theory, which is, you know, as old as philosophy itself. But basically, the social contract is implicit rules and consequences of being around other human beings. As a whole, there's a collective agreement amongst society that there should be mutual courtesy. These auditors enact their rights in the most bare minimum way possible. Sure, they go out there and film in public for a few hours, and, you know, that might take some effort. Not a whole lot, but a good amount, I guess. Yet at its core, there is no social compromise. They just express their constitutional right without a care. It's not like these people stand around quietly and observe from a distance. Some of them do, but the vast majority seem to intentionally provoke others. Take the guy I showed you, First Amendment Protection Agency, which, like, that's a great name, bro. He asks a question that is thrown at him back in a very condescending manner, almost to get a rise out of a person by how he responds to them.
Not that there's a problem, just curious. What are you up to?
What am I up to?
Can I help you? What's going on?
Can you help me?
Yeah.
Why are you recording?
Why am I recording?
Why are you filming me?
Why am I filming you? Why am I doing it? Why am I filming?
Can I help you?
Can you help me?
What are you filming?
What am I filming?
This guy's ready to be confrontational no matter what. It's by design. He's getting paid to poke the bear, essentially, and make an ass out of himself.
Get away from me, bro. Away from me, bro. Get 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 away from me, bro.
Such a noble cause defending the Constitution. Such bravery. It's pretty crazy because most of these First Amendment auditors, they're hypocrites. When you judge them for what they're doing to others, you're judging freedom. You're judging their rights. This auditor right here will just go to a post office. They will film random people going in and out and then get upset or confused or act condescendingly to a person asking, "What are you doing filming here? Why are you filming me?"
What are you mailing?
Just standing here filming people?
Are you just standing here holding a box? A different way to approach a conversation and people would be, "Hi, how's it going today?" Instead of, "What are you filming?" That seems kind of rude to me.
Have fun, guys.
You have a better day, Noah.
How's that cattle killing? How's that cattle killing? Where's the entitled to them. They're asking me questions. I answer your questions like a normal person. Okay. Don't be so upset. We're not here for... You guys have been aggressive with me since I asked you one simple question. You've been aggressive. You don't even know where I stand on anything. I don't know where you stand on anything. You want to have a conversation. You don't think it's odd to walk up to a stranger and ask what they're doing? When you're dressed the way you're dressed and you're filming people...
How am I dressed? What's with the way we're dressed? What's with the way we're dressed? I'm wearing the tank top and shorts.
They get up in arms back, like, why does it matter to you? Why are you bothered by this? A person has a right to feel uncomfortable by what you're doing. Now, of course, they're not going to stop because it's legal. Don't you see how unsettling you are as a person to do this? And then when you're confronted, you're just like, you mad, bro?
Well, I have an issue with people demanding answers right off the bat. Now you learned a lesson. Now you know how to have a conversation for next time. Have a better day, Noah.
Go rage bait online. Stop doing this in public. This dude in the video clearly works in some kind of government building, so he works in the public sector. These post office workers deal with enough bullshit day in and day out, and the last thing they want to see are two ghouls disrupting their day. But again, people do act way too aggressively and violently. I'm not going to diminish that happens often.
You got it on video, yeah.
Or some people insult the auditor's gender, asking if they're a boy or girl.
What's the name on the Starbucks thing? What are you?
I don't condone any transphobic comments. In fact, I think it's gross. Trans rights are human rights. Look at my shirt. It begs a question. Why put yourself through this? I can think of two reasons. I can't stress enough that monetary gain is the biggest one. The second biggest, maybe they're interchangeable, it's definitely an inflated sense of self, an idea that's bigger than yourself. They receive gratification by getting views, by getting money, and by sticking it to the man. It's not exactly sticking it to the man when you're dogging on a public business like a local post office.
I just like to get customer feedback and, as a matter of public interest, but I don't like to tell the employees inside because I don't want to spoil what I'm doing.
And the employees that work there that make their living off of shipping packages. It's not exactly sticking it to the man when you're working alongside law enforcement to disparage another citizen or to disparage a local business.
That's okay, man. Hey, one last thing. You want to just give him the people's bicep? You want to just give him the people's bicep? No, okay. All right. That was really, really sincere.
Everyone's upset. So.
I don't think he's in the right to be upset. But you know what? To each their own.
And it's not exactly sticking it to the man when you're pepper spraying a local business owner because he's not thrilled that you're filming him and his business. These situations occur because the auditors start the conflict. They don't happen out of thin air. They're not advocating for a true cause. They're not even stopping legitimate crimes. Cameras have been around for over 100 years. I don't think people are ever going to get over that uneasy feeling they get when they're being filmed, you know? If a person filmed you on the street randomly and just said, well, this is for recreational or personal use. I'm just filming just to film. A, you'd feel pretty uneasy and unsettled. And B, you would have to take what they say at face value, which clearly with these cases, they're lying or lying by omission. It would be different if the footage was showing them filming buildings or trees or birds or whatnot, but they're actively filming people. So yes, no matter what you say, a person is going to feel uncomfortable by that, and arguing against that fact is asinine. The audacity that they get offended or angry or condescending, that you would even suggest asking them to delete the footage. It's like, are you an alien? Do you not know social behaviors? God. These people aren't real. As we wrap up this video, I'd like to talk about the stress test. The auditors will give the weed dispensary, the restaurant, the government building a passing or failing grade if the people in the video are cordial and if they understand free speech. This woman confronts the First Amendment Protection Agency. Basically does a reverse Uno on his method. I find it very satisfying because he can't articulate fully what his purpose is or what the real meaning is.
Filming.
What am I filming?
Yes.
Filming a video.
Well, one could assume.
There you go.
On what?
On wow. Yes, of course you can.
Yes.
So what I do is I stress test our First Amendment right to the freedom of press in public.
Uh-huh. Would you like to elaborate?
What part didn't you understand?
Well, you say freedom of press, so that means I assume that you're reporting on something. What's your topic?
Right, there you go. This is it. The freedom of press.
Are you reporting for a website, a newspaper?
Social media. All over social media.
Social media.
Yep.
So you're saying that basically anything posted on social media counts as press?
There you go. That's called stories disseminating it to the public.
You don't have anything more specific? You're just going around filming to see if anybody asks why you're filming?
Look, I'll explain it one more time very slowly.
Sure.
See if they think if my rights end where their feelings begin.
Usually a stress test is when you put something under various conditions to see
if they break or if they do not break, right? And I also test the Hawthorne effect in real time, which is the theory that people act differently when they're being recorded.
In terms of more specific, and you're saying how could one get more specific? People do all kinds of scientific studies every single day.
Mhm.
Usually there's some method of what is the hypothesis you're trying to prove or disprove, what are the variables that are in your control, which are not. That's kind of why I was asking questions, because it seemed like you don't have much to say, is in my perception, beyond I'm
not the one that has to say anything. I'm sitting here and people come up to me and you can choose to talk to me, you can choose to not talk to me.
I kind of just get the sense that it seems like you're trying to piss people off.
I mean, like I said, I can explain it to people, but I can't understand it for them.
Explaining it. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't think you're explaining it. It seems like you don't want to achieve anything except for to see if it pisses people off to be filmed without their permission.
Like I said, if that's what you feel I'm doing, then that's the answer you can go along with.
So you're okay. Interesting. So you're.
You're
just gonna let other people sort of tell you what you're doing here based on their.
It doesn't seem that I can convince you otherwise. So why am I going to sit here and waste my time?
Otherwise, what's
otherwise of anything else? I've tried to explain it to you five times now, differently each and every time, and slower and slower. Like I said, I'm not going to explain it to you again. I'm not. I've done it 5 times. So
it's a very good cop out for when you're not providing some.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I couldn't have explained it better myself. He even agrees with her explanation that when people conduct scientific studies, that there is a concrete hypothesis for what they're doing. Now, he's definitely not a scientist, but this point is very important. And I'm harping on this guy in particular because he encapsulates these auditors pretty perfectly. A lot of them act very similarly to him. He just has one of those faces where you just want to throw infinite pies at, He's stress testing the freedom of speech, but beyond that, there's not much testing of any kind. It doesn't seem like there's much that he stands for besides, I'm allowed to do this. Here's actually a good idea. Why don't you film the ice raids that are happening in Texas and California? Film in front of those buildings. You'll get so much juicy content, and you'll actually get to film the shady shit that goes on there. What if you filmed human rights protests and marched alongside them and advocated for their freedom to protest, especially when they're protesting peacefully and just get pepper sprayed for no reason by a cop? What if you film that and then put it on the internet? How about you film pro-Palestinian movements and advocate against human injustice? Why don't you interview public officials? Or just educate the people who are watching your videos about local government and what they can do to change certain laws so that maybe cops aren't as aggressive and that cops are held more accountable in these towns. Raised awareness that way. I think people would appreciate that. Versus filming a person trying to go inside a TJ Maxx. Do those exist? At times you do feel for these auditors. It feels like they're societal outliers. Not really outcasts, just outliers. Why work at a coffee shop or a bookstore or, a 9-to-5 when you can film and harass people on the street? It's kind of crazy. They've sacrificed personal relationships because of the decisions they've made, because they've decided to be auditors.
The hardest thing is not really with the trolls, but the hardest thing is I've lost friends over this, close friends. I lost a relationship with somebody that I was really in love with and wanted to be with. That ended because of this. My family, I'm not saying they haven't disowned me or anything, but they definitely don't like what I do.
It's mixed. My mom and some other family members are supportive. Some other in my family took the stance that I'm harassing people out there, and I've got other family members that just prefer not to talk about it.
So to conclude, this career path, it just ain't it. It seems like they're destroying any last shred of human decency that they might have. They have free reign to exercise their constitutional rights. It's just unfortunate that it's at the expense of other people's personal happiness or space when they're just trying to shop for weed. It's just unfortunate that has to happen. It's really a shame that they can't empathize with another person who doesn't want to be filmed. I do feel for them when they get assaulted. I just really wish they approached their so-called activism in a more positive, productive way. It would make everybody's lives better. Thanks for sticking around and watching till the end. I hope this wasn't a mess to look at, but what do you think of First Amendment auditors? Is this the first time you heard about them? Do you think they're cool? Are they doing their civic duty, or are they just rage baiting? What do you think? I hope you're not bothered by me filming you, and if you are, well, it's my constitutional right, so screw you. See ya.